Hey, good morning, everybody. This is Mr. Ainsworth, and we're going to get into a little financial algebra here and get into your workbook here on section 7.3. Talk about mortgages and the application process. And we're going to bring in some concepts from the past too as well. So get ready to do that here. I'm going to bring you back to what's called the monthly payment formula, which you guys are familiar with. And obviously this is going to be calculator based, so get your calculator ready to go. Whether you're using the TID4 or Desmos, it doesn't really matter. And also, get some extra graph paper out. So if you don't have any out, let's pause the video right now, get some graph paper out, because you guys are required in my class to show setup and process when working all this out, and for any credit. So keep that in mind. There's no way you can do it in this small little space right here. So go ahead and get some extra graph paper and show all your work, okay? So here we go. All right, let's work this one out. Notice I have a lot of room off to the side. Why? Because there's not enough room to do everything in this workbook here. So, okay, so let's get started. The Jacobs family here is planning to buy a new home. Cool. All right, always good to buy a home rather than rent. They have some money down for a down payment. Okay, already, that's good. That's really good. They see a home they like and they compute that they would need to borrow $213,000 from a bank over a 30-year period. Okay, now that's typical, guys. A 30-year fixed loan where an APR is 3.75 is the way to go. I just refinanced mine for 2.85. Right now, the interest rate is really low, so I refinanced my house on a 30-year fixed loan with an APR of 2.85%, which is historically low. It's really low, which is good for me. But in this situation, they're going to get an APR of 3.75%. Question is, what is the monthly payment? Okay, let's get started. So in order to calculate the monthly payment, you need the monthly payment formula. So let's review. Monthly payment formula. Like I said, do this on extra paper. You're going to submit everything into Canvas when you guys are done here. Okay, so you need to know this. So let's recall a monthly payment here. M is going to be equal to this crazy expression. P for the principal. In this case, the principal right here is $213,000. Everything's going to be based upon that. Times R divided by N. Okay, times 1 plus R divided by N to the NT power, which we have to figure out what R, N, and T are. All right, divided by 1 plus R divided by N to the NT power. That's the number of compounding periods minus 1. Okay, so let's set this up where M stands for the monthly payment. So it's going to be equal to something here in a minute, some dollar amount. And we got to round it to the nearest cent, it looks like. So let's reread the problem here. So I know from the problem that the principal is $213,000. It's for a 30-year period. So T is for 30 years. Okay, so T equals 30 years. Cool. The APR, the interest rate is 3.75%. So as decimal, it's 0.0375. All right, and we want a monthly payment. So N is equal to 12. All right, because there's 12 months per year. Okay, so I know what N, T, R. I know everything right here. By the way, how many months are there in 30 years? Because that's your exponent right here. The exponent is the number of compounding periods. In this case, it's the number of months in 30 years. So when I compute N times T, I'm going to compute 12 times 30. And this is going to be the number of months in 30 years, and that's going to be 360 months. Okay, and that's going to be my exponent right here, N times T, and it's going to be the exponent twice. So let's calculate the monthly payment. We're going to use Desmos here. Like I said, I do all my work in Desmos because I can, it's free to everybody, and it's a great calculator. Whether you're graphing or just straight computing, it is awesome. Okay, so first of all, though, we got to set this thing up. So our payment's going to be based upon $213,000. R divided by N is 0.0375. All right, divided by N is 12 months. N is 12 because we're doing it monthly here, not quarterly, not daily, monthly. So that's why N is 12. Times 1 plus 0.0375 divided by 12. raised to the nt power. And like I said earlier, 12 times 30 is 360. There's 360 months, okay? 360 months in 30 years. Divide that by 1 plus r divided by n. So basically the same thing here. And this should all come back because we've done this extensively in Chapter 3. We calculated all kinds of things in Chapter 3. So you can look at your notes. And then don't forget about the minus 1. All right, if you don't put that there, your answers will not make sense. Okay, so let's calculate the monthly payment. So let's do that. Like I said, I use Desmos a lot because it's easy to use. You just got to type it in correctly here. Okay, that's obviously a key thing. So do this here. And notice that I'm going to raise this to the 360th power, so I'm going to use the exponent button, a to the b power. Raise that to the 360th power. Get out of the exponent before you divide, and then divide it by 1 plus 0.0375 divided by 12. Same thing. And then I'm going to raise that to the 360th power as well, because 30 years is 360 months. Get out of the exponent before you subtract 1. And, oh, there is something wrong here. Oh, I didn't put the right amount in. It's supposed to be 213,000, not 21,300. Notice I saw the, when you take out a 0, and so instead of 21,300, it should be 213,000. So notice that this number 98 is too small. So I knew I'd made a mistake in my entry, so obviously I missed a 0. So for $213,000 loan, the monthly payment is going to be $986 roughly and 44 cents. All right, there we go. So let's write it down. So $986, 44 cents. Okay, so now we know the monthly payment. So $986.44 monthly. Okay, what is the total of all the payments? Well, you got to do this for 30 years or 360 months. So 30 years is 360 months. You got to keep that in mind. So if we're going to pay $986.44 for 360 months, it kind of sounds like we have to multiply those things. So let's do that. So let's take $986.44 per month. All right, multiply it by 360 months. Notice that the months cancel out, the units cancel out properly. This is the total, obviously. All right, and what do you get? Well, let's take that and let's figure it out. So we take 986, all right, 44 times 360, and you get a huge number here. Okay, so what we're going to pay is 55,000. Looks like $118.40 total. Okay, it adds up to a lot. Now look at this, guys. We only want, our house cost $213,000. We pay $355,000, a little more than that. All right, so to calculate the interest, you just subtract those two. Okay, and this should make sense because we did this before in Chapter 3. Okay, so refer to Chapter 3. All right, because we did all this stuff. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the amount that we paid total. All right, and we're going to subtract the loan of the value of the principal. Okay, which is, we always subtract the original principal. When it comes to any loan, you always subtract the original principal from what you pay to get the interest. Oh, okay, so let's do that. Okay, so that's what the total is. Now we've got to subtract the loan amount, the principal, and we're going to pay $142,000 extra, and that, right, my friends, is called interest. Okay, so it's $142,000. Okay, $118.40. Okay, that is the interest that we pay on the loan. Okay, and that happens all the time. You see, that's the payment to the bank. That goes to the bank. All right, and that's the amount of money they make. And by the way, notice that it's more than half of the cost of the house. It's a huge amount. And so, you know, hey, loans aren't free. And what you have to pay to get the loan is called interest. It's basically the financial cost of the loan itself. Okay, that's number 1. Number 2, Pam and Chris found a home for which they have to borrow $H. Okay, so that's kind of like That's kind of like over here, above here. They had to pay $213,000 in number 1 for the house. Here they want to borrow $H. So those are pretty much the same. If they take out a 25-year loan for a monthly payment M, express the interest I in terms of H and M. So this is just like what we just did. Okay, so we're going to take what we learned from C and apply it here, but we're going to do it using some variables. Okay, so first of all, it's a 25-year loan. So first thing we know is we know that 25 years, okay, so we have 25 years, and there's 12 months a year, so 25 times 12. Sorry about my dog, guys. Here, hang on. Okay, sorry about that. My great Dane was going a little crazy here. So I need to compute how many months there are in 25 years. So I'm just going to take 25 times 12. 25 times 12. And notice that's 300 months. Okay? Okay, so I have to pay the monthly payment. The monthly payment is M. All right, I got to pay that for 300 months. So to get the total, right, the total, I got to take the 300 months times M. So my total payments, kind of like what I did up here. I took the monthly payment times 360 in part B, part B. I got to do the same thing here. So the total payments, all right, is equal to be 300 months times M dollars per month, M dollars. So 300 M. All right, now I've got to subtract from that the cost of the loan. I want to borrow H dollars. And when I do that, I get the interest. So the interest is going to be equal to the total payment, which is 300 times M, minus, okay, what I borrowed, and I borrowed H dollars. Okay, so just 300 M minus H. And that's number 2. All right, number 3. Cruising right along here. Bank requires .coms to pay their homeowners insurance, property taxes, and mortgage in one monthly payment to the bank. Okay, if their monthly mortgage payment, is $1,711 roughly, 22 cents. They're semi-annual, so that means every 6 months. Their property tax bill every 6 months is $3,213. So let's separate these things. So monthly mortgage is $1,711 roughly. Okay, their semi-annual property tax bill is $3,239, and then their annual homeowners insurance bill is $980. How much do they pay each month? Okay, so the question is right here. Let's highlight the question. How much do they pay each month? So we got to calculate or convert everything to monthly. Okay, that's what we need to do. Convert everything to monthly. So let's go off to the side, like I always say here. All right. Okay, so this is number 3. All right, convert everything to monthly. Make sure you write this down. Monthly. All right. So let's do that. So let's start off the mortgage payment. Now the monthly mortgage payment is already monthly. So monthly mortgage, we already know what that is. It's $1,711.22 per month. Okay. Now the property tax. Now this is every 6 months. You gotta be careful here. So this is semi-annual. So we're gonna pay $3,239. So for the property tax, okay, we're gonna pay $3,239. Okay, it looks like semi-annual. Okay, annual. Now, semi-annual means every half year, so that means every 6 months. So we know that there's, what am I thinking? For every semi-monthly period, there's 6 months. Okay? So basically I have to take this number and divide it by 6. Okay, just look at the unit conversion here. These cancel, and you get dollars per month. Okay, so if it's every 6 months, to get monthly here, you got to take this number here and divide it by 6. So we got to do that. Okay, so let's do that. So 3239 divided by 6, easy. So that's what you got to pay for property tax each month. So if If it's 3,200 over 3,200 for every 6 months, then it's obviously going to be less for each month. So you simply divide it by 6, and you get 539.83. All right. So let's do that. So 5. What does it say? 539. So 539.83. All right. This is per month. Okay. Let's go back to the problem. Now you have to calculate the homeowners insurance. So home insurance. Now that right there is, it says annual. Okay. That's $980 per year. So $980 per year. So I'm going to go per, let's just year is YR. Okay, we know that there's for every year there's 12 months. Okay, so I got to obviously divide that by 12 to go to monthly. So let's do that. So you simply take 980 divided by 12. All right, and you get 81.67. So 81.67. So notice that I'm converting everything to monthly. So I got the mortgage, monthly. I got property tax, monthly. I've got the homeowner insurance, monthly. All right, and now what I need to do is I got to figure out what the total amount monthly is, and I simply add them up. Okay, how much do they pay each month, right? Okay, so the total monthly. I got to add these numbers up. So it's $1,711.22 plus $539.83 plus $81.67, and then you add them up, and you get a number here. Obviously, a bigger number. So you simply add these up. Make sure you press the right buttons. I mean, that's the hardest part of this whole exercise. Okay, and you get this number here. You get $2,332.72. Okay, that's monthly. All right, so let's bring that over, and that's right here. So monthly payment is $2,332.72 per month. Okay, so what you do is you convert to monthly. That's the key. So let's highlight that. You convert everything to monthly. And by the way, that was indicated and discussed in the video with Mr. Alex. So if you're not watching the videos, which is some of you guys are not watching your videos, that's a mistake, okay? Because in the videos, he discusses everything in the workbook for the most part. And there's a few things that you have to discover in the workbook and you have to figure out, but hey, you can't tell you everything. So, but he does give you a wide range of examples, and if you watch the videos, you guys are going to be more successful here in the workbook problems because it's obviously related. Okay, it's directly from the book, by the way. He does a good job at that. Okay, next problem, number 4. Like I said, do all your work on the side and submit everything, because I'm not going to give you guys full credit if you do not show all your thinking. All right, because it takes thinking. All right, so if you borrow $200,000, this is number 4, $200,000 APR 4%. Here we go again for 25 years. Will you pay more per month than if you borrow the money for 30 years at 4%? Oh. Well, as we know from previous chapters, you should know this, that if you extend the length of the loan, the monthly payment drops. So we know it's less. The question is how much less? It says you will pay more per month, right? So the question is like how much more? We'll get to that. All right, so let's attack this one at a time. So number 4. Dun, 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 dun. No. So number 4. All right. So what is the monthly payment on it? Okay, so here we go again. So this is the principal is $200,000. Okay, look at that. All right. R is 0.04. T in this case is 25 years. Okay, it's monthly payment. So N is equal to 12 because it's monthly. There's 12 months in a year, so N is 12. We're not doing this quarterly, guys. We're not paying quarterly, daily, and all that kind of stuff. We're paying monthly, and that's typical. Okay, so we're going to use the monthly payment form again. Here we go. So M is equal to, in this case, 200,000 times R divided by N, so 0.04 divided by 12 times 1 plus R divided by N, which is 0.04 divided by 12, raised to the nt power. Well, n is 12 and t is 25. So t is 25. So that tells me n times t is 25 times 12. You guys know what that is? It's probably 300 maybe. I don't know. 25 times 12, 300. Okay, so there's 300 months. Okay, so you're going to raise it to the 300th power, divided by 1 plus 0.04 divided by 12. Just like the previous problem, right? You guys got to go back and what I did earlier right up here and understand what I did. Because guess what? We're doing it again. So you're supposed to take what you learned and apply it to the new stuff. All right, raise it to the same power and then minus 1. All right, and then you kick in Desmos. Okay, so here we go. So you take 200,000. Make sure you have the right number of zeros in there. All right, times 0.04 divided by 12. Times 1 plus 0.04 divided by 12. Raise that to the 300th power. Wow. Get out of the exponent before you divide. And then you divide that by 1 plus 0.04 divided by 12. All right, and you raise that to the 300th power again. And then get out of the exponent before you subtract 1. And notice that we're dealing with a 1,000. Let's see here. Yeah, 1,055.67. So there's your monthly payment. So 1,055.67 per month. Okay, it's a monthly payment. So let's bring it over here. So monthly payment is equal to 1,055.67. Okay, now that is the monthly payment. Now what we want to do is to calculate the total interest paid. All right, we got to calculate the total paid and subtract the principal. All right, so we got to go to total payments. It doesn't say to do this. You just have to know that you have to do this because we've done it before. So we're doing this for 300 months. So it's going to be 300 months times 1,055.67 per month. Okay, notice that the months cancel out and you get the proper units, you get dollars. Okay, so what would that be? So you kick in your calculator here, you hand it in your calculator. So you take your monthly payment times your 300. All right, you're going to do that for 300 months, right? Look at that, 316,000. All right, $701. So $316,701 total. Look at that. Okay. So now, to get the total interest, we've got to take that and subtract the principal. So the total interest is what you pay total minus the principal, 200,000. And can you do that in your head? Maybe $116,701. Okay? And that's your total interest paid, which is a lot. It's over half of the cost of the house, guys. And that's typical. Okay, you're going to pay more than 50% of your loan in interest. All right. Now, we're going to do the same thing for a 30-year loan. All right, and we're going to compare. All right, so we have some more work to do here. Okay, so now we need to figure out the monthly payment for a 30-year loan. Now, 30 years, okay, 30 times 12, that's 360 months. So we're going to go from 300 months to 360 months. This is going to drop down the payment, all right, but it's going to increase the total amount paid. So let's calculate our monthly payment on a 360 month loan. So same amount. So it's the same setup as before. But notice that I'm raising it to the 360th power here. Now, when you do this on Desmos, check this out. We already did it above here, but we did it for 300 months. So I'm just going to go backspace and change 300 to 360. So notice that it changes the monthly payment to $954.83. Okay, so this one here is $954.83 per month. All right, now I've got to do that. Now that means I've got to change this calculation here. Hang on. Hang on. Something's going on here. Give me a second. Okay. So I've got to change. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know what's going on here. I don't know what something's up with my pen or something. Give me a second here, guys. Okay, so I got to take 954. Holy cow, this is. Oh, here we go. Okay, so 954.83. Now things are working. All right, I got to do this for 360 months, so times 360. There we go. And look at that. That's 343,000. Over 343,000 total. Okay, so the total payments, 360 months times 954.83 per month. Okay, that's gonna we're gonna pay over $343,738.80. Okay, that is a big number, my friends. All right, now let's figure out the interest. So that's the total. So the total interest, we paid $343,738.80. We borrowed $200,000, so you got to subtract the principal. When you do that, you get $143,738.80. And that, my friends, is a lot of money. Okay, so that's like 3/4 of the loan. Okay, so you're going to pay a lot of money to the bank. And then part E is how much more interest is paid. So all you do is just subtract the two. Okay, you got to take these guys. All right, and you got to subtract. That's E right here. All right, so let's do that. So 143,738.80 minus 116,701. And then you'll figure out that number, and that's $27,037.80. Okay, you can do that on your own. Okay, and then the question is, what's the difference in the monthly payments? Well, okay, so I know the 2 monthly payments. Let's see. Here and here. So I got to subtract these guys. So on the I didn't write this one down. So on the longer loan, the monthly payment was $954.83 per month. All right, the bigger payment was $1,055. So what's the difference between the monthly payments? Difference, subtract. So you got to take $1,055.67 minus the $954.83. And then when you do that, okay, you get $100 and roughly 84 cents. And if you want to round that to the nearest dollar, that's about $101. So the difference is about $101. Okay. Okay. Wow. Okay. Number 5. The assessed value of the Craner family house is about $457,000. The annual property tax rate is 2.66% of the assessed value. Okay. So we're given the assessed value. The assessed value is right here. Okay. The annual property tax rate is 2.66%, which is 0.0266 as a decimal. Okay, this number right here. What is the annual property tax? Well, that's easy. Okay, you want to multiply the two. So 0.0266 times 457,000. What is that? You do that on decimals too. You just kick it in. I mean, you guys, the mathematics in this chapter is very basic. However, you just have to do the right thing and know basically what you do. So you're going to be paying, check this out, every year. This is annual property tax on this house, about $12,156.20. Okay, on top of your payments, guys, because everything's taxed. Okay, there's all kinds of different tax, from state tax, federal tax, property tax, sales tax. Holy cow, there's all kinds of taxes. All right, number 6. Cruising right along. Okay, Tom and Gwen have an adjusted gross income of $140,000 roughly. The monthly mortgage payment for the house they want to be is about $1,483. Okay. The annual property taxes would be $9,330. The homeowner's insurance premium would be a little over $1,000 a year, almost $1,100 per year. They have a monthly $444 car payment, and the credit card payment averages about $4,021. That is some expenses. Okay, we got 2 things asked here, and then, by the way, this is an important question here. TQ stands for test question. All right, the first one asks you for the front end ratio and then a back end ratio, both of which was talked about in the video, in the lesson. So we got to talk about the front end ratio, and then secondly, we got to talk about the back end ratio. So front end ratio, back end ratio. Because these 2 factors, the bank looks at these 2 factors and decides whether they should lend you the money to buy this house. And if you can't satisfy the front and back end ratio requirements for the loan, then you are not going to get the loan and you will not be able to buy your house. And so you need to go through the video because Mr. Alex, when he went through it, talked about the requirements of this. Okay, and like I keep on mentioning this today because I've noticed that a lot of you seniors are not watching the videos and you're coming to class cold. Well, if you don't know the requirements, then you can't really solve this problem, even if you can do the math. All right, so I encourage everybody to watch the videos that he produces because we team up and he produces those for you guys to learn the concept. And then you come to class and then we apply the concepts and we get practice. Okay, do not skip the videos. Okay, so what do we need to do? We need to convert everything to monthly here and see what's going on. So let's do this. Okay, so number 6. All right, so they have an adjusted gross income. This is an annual income right here. So the very first thing we need to do is convert to monthly. Okay, so let's write that down. Convert to monthly. Because this right here, this is an annual income. Okay, they're not making $144,000 a month, guys. They are getting that per year. Okay, so let's calculate their monthly income. Monthly income. Here we go. Let's take their annual, which is $144,112, and this is per year. We know that there's 1 year, there's 12 months. So we got to divide this number by 12. All right, so let's do it. So let's type that in. So 114,112 divided by 12. Okay, so they're making roughly $9,500 a month. Okay, so let's write that down. Oh, I missed something here. Oh, I didn't type it in right. I type it in right. They're making about $12,009. Over $12,000 a month. So $12,009.33. There we go. That's their monthly income, which is respectable, by the way. Okay, this is per month. We're converting to monthly here. All right, so let's highlight that. This is an important thing. Convert to monthly. So let's work on the other ones here. The monthly mortgage payment for their house would be $1,483. Okay, so let's write that down. So we got monthly mortgage. Monthly mortgage payment is $1,483. That's cool. Okay, that's already let me see. That's already a monthly number, so we're good there. So monthly mortgage. I'm just going to write this down to get organized. Okay, so it's this is $1,483 per month. Okay. Now it says their annual property taxes would be $9,330. That's annual. Okay, so let's calculate the monthly there. So property taxes. Now again, we're converting to monthly. So we're going to take $9,330 per year. And then we know that in 1 year there's 12 months. So we got to divide this number by 12. Okay? All right, we're going to go from annual to monthly. We divide it by 12. So let's do that. So $9,330 divided by 12. Okay, whoops, that doesn't look good. So sorry for the mix up here. So we're roughly paying right there $775, 50 or $777. Oh. Let me double check something here. Okay, so 777. Okay, 50. All right, per month for property taxes. I'm just checking as I'm going here. Okay, so what else do we have? So it says the homeowner's insurance premium would cost $1,099 per year. That's annual cost for the homeowners. So we have to calculate the homeowner's insurance premium. Okay, so that's it says right here, homeowner's insurance cost them $1,099 per year. Got to divide that by 12 again because in 1 year, all right, there's 12 months. Keep repeating myself here. So got to divide that by 12. So here we go. So I have to pay $91.58 per month. So $91.58 per month. Okay. And then what else do we have? We have read on. They have a monthly. Okay, so they have a monthly car payment, and then they have a credit card payment. Okay, which averages. Wow, those are monthly numbers. So we're gonna have to convert those. Okay, let's talk about the front end ratio. Okay, this is everything except the car payment and the credit card payments, just the basic home payments. Okay, so the front end ratio. We got to take all the basic payments for the home. We're talking about the mortgage payment. Okay, $1,483. So $1,483 plus this the monthly or the property tax. Okay, $777.50 plus the homeowner's insurance $91.58, and you got to divide that by the total income. Now they're making $12,009.33. We're going to divide that by the total gross income, and we're going to get a percentage here. And this right here is the front end ratio. This does not include the credit card payment and does not include the car payment. It just includes home payments or anything related to the home payments only. This is home payments only. Okay, so let's do this. So I got to take all of this and divide it by the gross monthly income. So 1483. Got to put this in parentheses here. Okay, and then I've got to add the 777.50, and I've got to add the 91.58. Okay, and I'm going to divide that by the total gross income, which is $12,009.33. And right there, I'll get 0.1958, so 0.1958, which is 19.58%. So 19.58%. I think it says round. Let me see. Okay, so we can round that just 19.6%. So 19.6% roughly. That's the front end ratio. And then we got to calculate the back end ratio. Now, before we do that, though, let me just say something. So the front end ratio is 19.6%. Okay, now, if you're less than 28%, you're good. And this number is less than 28%. All right, so we satisfy that requirement. If you're over 28%, then you don't satisfy the requirement, and you do not get the loan. Okay, so this is a good thing. Okay? This is good. That's why I gave it a happy face. You have to be less than 28%. Let me highlight that. You have to be less than 28% in order to satisfy the bank requirements for the loan. Otherwise, you do not get the loan, and they will not lend you the money because you are a risk. Okay? Okay. Now, you also have to satisfy the back end ratio too. So this one includes the car payment and the credit card payment. It's basically the same idea, okay, but I'm going to add 2 more numbers in here. Okay, so to get this one here, we're going to take all of these numbers here. So the 1483, all right, the 777.50, and the 91.58. And then I've got to add in these car payments. Okay, I got to add in the car payment, monthly $444 car payment. I got to add in the credit card payment. Look at that, $4,021. Oh my God. Okay, so let's add in the car payment, and let's add in the credit card payment. So this is the car payment, and the credit card payment is huge, $4,021. And then I got to divide that by the same monthly gross income. And this is called the back end ratio. All right, so let's do that. Here we go. So I'm going to take the same number here. I'm just going to add 2 more numbers in it. I'm going to add the 444, and I'm going to add the 4,021. That's why I loved using Desmos. You can just modify this real easily. And notice that we jumped up to 0.5676 or 0.56 or 56.76%. Okay, so this is equal to 0.5676, which is 56.76%, or roughly 56.8%. Okay, now we got a problem here. Okay, so the back end ratio here is equal to 56.8%, and that is not less than, okay? It is greater than 36%, and we failed right here. This is not good, okay? This is not good. You have to be less than 36% on the back end ratio in order to qualify for the loan. So if this was you, all right, if you were Tom and Gren, then you would be denied the loan, okay? So it says here, based upon the back end ratio, would the bank lend them the $220,000? Ooh. Oh, lend them $220,000 to purchase the house they want? And you would say no, okay? Why? Because it's greater than 36%. Let me highlight this. 56.8% is greater than the maximum percentage for the back end ratio. You have to be less than both of these numbers. The front end ratio has to be less than 28%. The back end ratio has to be less than 36%, and it's obviously not. It's way higher, which means they're spending too much. Okay, so they're too risky. So the bank's going to say no. They're not going to do it. Okay. And I just had to go through all this myself. When I refinanced, they checked all these ratios. They checked my finances and made sure that my ratios were okay in order to give me the loan that I was requesting. And so all this stuff's like real life, guys. And that's what I love about this class, because everything that we're doing here is applicable to something in real life. You will experience all of this sooner or later. All right, number 7. The market value of Jennifer and Neil's home is $319,000. The assessed value is $280,000. The annual property tax is $19.70 per 1,000 of the assessed value. Okay, now listen. They give you the assessed value, and then they say here that the annual property tax rate is $19.70 or $19.70 per 1,000. So every $1,000 out of this $280,000 right here, we have to pay $19.70. All right, so that's our rate. Okay, that's a property tax rate. So when you want to figure out the property tax, well, we know that we have to pay $19.70 for every $1,000. Okay. Okay. Now we want to, with the assessed value is $280,000. So what we're going to do is we're going to multiply this, the property tax rate, times $280,000, and we're going to figure out our property tax on our home. All right. So here we go. All right, so let's take $19.70. All right, we're going to divide it by 1,000, and then we're going to multiply it by 280,000. Okay, and that means that we're going to be paying here. We're going to be paying $5,516. Okay, so $5,516 on property tax. Okay, so they give you the tax rate, simply multiply that by the assessed value, and you get how much you're going to pay. And this is an annual number, of course. Okay, this is per year. This is annual. Okay, how much do they pay monthly towards property taxes? Well, Well, if this is annual per year, you just simply divide it by 12. So we take $5,516 per year. We know that in every year there are 12 months. So we take this number here, 5516 divided by 12, because there's 12 months per year, and you have to pay $459.67. All right, and this is per month. That's property taxes monthly. So notice the slash, and I say per month. Always label your numbers because you have to know whether it's annual or monthly. Okay, next one. What are we doing here? Let's see here. Okay, number 8. Let me see. Number 8, 9. We're gonna skip those just for funsies. Okay, you can do them if you want. This is optional. Okay. Then my go-getters will do that. If you want to do it, go for it. Maybe we should start putting bonus questions on the test, and there'll be all the optional ones. Okay, so if you guys want to do that, be my guest. If you want some help doing that, see me on the side. Number 10. Let's do it. Okay, so here we go. Find the monthly payment before the balloon payment for a 25-year loan. Okay, again, this was discussed in the video. Okay, so if you don't know what this is, this will teach you a lesson, guys. You need to watch the video. Okay, so what's the monthly payment before balloon payment for a 25-year interest-only loan? Okay, keywords: interest-only balloon mortgage. Not a good thing to do, but here we go. All right, so for $300,000 and an APR of 3.1%. Okay, so now 25 years. So right here, so 25 times 12 is 12 months per year. Okay, so if you don't remember what that is, it's 300. But if you don't remember, just multiply and you get 300 months. So this is for 300 months. So what you're going to do is you're going to pay interest only for 299 months. Okay? You're going to pay interest only for 299 months. So we got to figure out what that interest only payment is. And because it's interest only and we're not doing anything compounding here, we can use IPERT, or I equals PRT. All right, on this one here. So I is equal to P times R times T, principal rate times time. All right, now the principal is 300,000. The rate is 3.1%. And the time is 25 years. So times 25. So let's figure out the total interest on this loan that we're going to be paying. So 300,000 times the interest rate times the length of time, 25 years. So the total interest is $232,500 total interest. Now, we have to divide that by 299 to figure out what we're going to be paying each month for the first 299 months, because the last month we're going to pay off this loan, and so the last month's going to be 300,000. Okay, so what I need to do now is to calculate the monthly, I got to take this number here, 232,500, and divide it by 299, and we're going to come up with a monthly number here. And this is the number that we're going to pay for the first 299 months, and then last month we just paid the 300,000. So you guys got to save 300,000 somehow, because you got to pay off the loan in the last month of the balloon payment, or in the last month of the loan. So let's enter this number in. So 232,500. So 232,500 divided by 299, because this is going to be the same thing for each of the first 299 months. So we're going to pay $777.59 per month for 299 months. And then in the last month, you pay off the loan. Whew, that is big. And that's why these loans are dangerous, because most people cannot pay $300,000 in 1 month. I mean, to do that, it require you to be very, very wealthy. So interest-only balloon payment mortgages are very, very dangerous. We don't recommend them. Okay. All right. Number 11, an interest-only balloon mortgage has a principal P for 20 years and a total interest of I dollars. Okay. Okay, so 20 years. So it's 20 years. So like the previous problem, we're going to learn from the previous problem. So 20 years is 240 months. So because of that, right there, we're going to take the amount of interest and divide it by 239. So it says here, write an algebraic expression for each monthly payment before the balloon payment. So we're going to take the total interest. Like in the previous problem, it was $232,500. Here, it's just I dollars, right? It says it's I dollars. So you take I and divide it by not 240, by 239, because the last month you pay off the loan. Okay? So the only trick in this problem here is just knowing that 20 years is 240 months, and for interest-only loans, you pay the same amount for all the months except the last month, so 240 minus 1 is 239. So to calculate the payment, the monthly payment, you take the total interest divided by 239. This gives you the monthly payment. Okay? And the last one, number 12. Okay, Ted has an adjusted gross income of $120,000 roughly. He wants a house with a monthly mortgage of $1,921, annual property tax. This kind of sounds familiar, like the previous problem. His semi-annual homeowners premium would be $897. Ted has a credit card bill that averages $300 per month. Okay, so here we go. We want to convert to monthly again. So let's write that down again. So convert to monthly. You want everything monthly. Okay. So the first thing we do is we read the problem again. Okay. So he has an annual gross income of this. We want a monthly income. So let's take his annual, which is $120,006, and divide that by 12. Okay, so he's making over $10,000 per month. Okay, so this is per month. It's pretty respectable. Okay, he wants to buy a monthly mortgage or buy a house with a monthly mortgage payment. Okay, so let's just write down all our monthly numbers here. So monthly mortgage, this is what he's going to pay monthly for being in that house. So it's going to be $1,921 per month. It already is monthly, so nothing to do. I'm talking about this right here. Okay, annual property tax. Annual property tax, that's an annual number. So I have to divide that by 12. So property tax, I've got to take the $7,112 per year. I know that in 1 year, there's 12 months. So I got to take that number and divide it by 12. To go from annual to monthly, you always divide by 12. So this is per month. So he pays $592, roughly $67 for property tax per month. And the next thing we want to do is to calculate the homeowner's premium per month. Now, on this one, you got to be careful here. It says semi-annual homeowner's premium would be $897. So homeowner's insurance premium. This is semi-annual, so every 6 months. So it's $897 semi-annually. We know that for every semi-annual period, there's 6 months. Okay, half an annual, half a year is 6 months. That's the reason why. So to go from semi-annual number to monthly, because this is every 6 months, you got to divide it by 6. Got to use your common sense a little bit. Okay, so it's $149.50. All right, and this is per month. Notice I'm doing everything monthly now. And then he says his credit card bill averages $300 per month. So credit card is $300 per month. No need to do anything there. It's just, that's a monthly number. Okay, so here we go. This problem here is just like the other big one here, number 6. So this is similar to number 6. Okay, sorry about my handwriting. My pen's screwing up. So what we want to do is calculate the back end ratio, calculate the front end ratio. Remember, so back end ratio, front end ratio. Let's do it. Okay, front end ratio first. Okay, so everything just home related. Okay, so let me see. So the mortgage, so $1,921 plus the property tax, $592.67 plus the home insurance premium, which is $149.50. Everything home related and divided by your gross monthly income, which is $10,000.50. And this will give you the front end ratio. Oops, sorry about that, guys. Okay. So let's calculate this, and let's kick in the calculator here. So here we go. So let's add these numbers up. Just be careful to type them in correctly, because you've seen me make mistakes here and there, just by hitting the wrong button there. And so just be careful there. Okay, $10,050. So notice that it's about 26.6%. Okay, so let's write that number down. So the front end ratio is 26.6%. Just shift the decimal place 2 places right to convert to a percent. Sorry, I was thinking. Okay, back end ratio. Same thing. I just got to add in the credit card bill, and that's it. Just add in the credit card bill. Okay, so I'm gonna just repeat this. So look right above it. So it's the same thing, but you got to add in your credit card bill, because that's the only additional one. So credit card was $300. You still divide it by the gross monthly income. And this is going to be a different percentage here because we got a different thing going on, right? We added in $300. You have to add in your credit card bills, other expenses here for the back end ratio. Notice it's going to increase. Okay, so watch what happens here. When I go up here, I'm going to go into Desmos here. I'm going to add in the $300. So notice that my percentage went up from 26.6% to 29.6%. Okay, so this is 29.6%. It goes up because you have more expenses, right? You're spending more. So when you calculate all your expenses into your ratios, obviously the ratios or the percentages are going to go up. Okay, so the back end ratio is 29.6%. The front end ratio is 26.6%. Okay, part B here. Here we go. Assume that his credit rating is good based upon the back end ratio. Would the bank offer him a loan? Well, for the back end ratio, it has to be less than 36%. Okay, so since I'm going to answer the question here. Okay. Since the back end ratio is 29.6% and it's less than 36%, okay, that's a 36%, okay, they satisfied that requirement. So this will tell me yes, okay, they will, the bank will offer the loan. Based upon this, bank will offer the loan, but you got to satisfy the other one too, right? Okay, so front end ratio has to be less than the 28%. So since the front end ratio is 26.6% and it's less than 28%, I'm going to say yes again. All right, the bank will lend the money. Bank will lend the moolah. Okay, the money. Bank will give you the loan. So you gotta, the back end ratio has to be less than 36%. The front end ratio has to be less than 28%. And both these numbers were satisfied. So in this case, Ted's good, okay, because he satisfied both ratios. And by the way, my friends, this is not made up stuff. This is what happens when you apply for loans for homes. All right, and that's why, again, why I love this course is because it teaches us some real life stuff. Okay, hopefully this helped you out, you guys. I snuck in here to do a video because I haven't been with you guys during this traumatic time in my life when my wife's father is in the hospital right now, recovering from a very, very extensive and brain surgery. He had a very big tumor that had to be removed, and we don't know if he's going to survive. But every day we take one day at a time, and we hope for the best and pray to God that he heals. And so, but I wanted to help you guys out when I'm not at school. Hopefully this helped you. And here in financial algebra, make yourself proud, do your work, and I'll see you in class soon. Take care.